He has recorded 11 #1 albums on the Billboard charts. He has had 21 albums in the top 10. His music has amassed 2 billion streams and counting, with 25 million unique listeners. If that's not incredible enough, he taught himself to play piano as a teenager. Oh, and then there's his heart transplant.
Because everybody that has what I have died.
A rare form of congenital heart disease brought Paul Cardall into this world with half a heart. He was born with only 2 chambers. This led to countless medical procedures as a young boy, too many to mention. To pass the time, Paul began piano lessons.
Well, I quit after 6 months.
I did too.
I hated it.
He would go on to teach himself. Things really began getting serious in his teens, both in his music world and with his health. He was staying in a hospital days at a time.
At 9 o'clock at night, after everyone's gone, I would go to the piano in the children's hospital where I was living, and I would just create. I would improvise, I would just play, and I was writing songs on the spot.
While in high school, 2 years after his 3rd open heart surgery.
And that 3rd time, they had to reopen me 3 different times. And it was horrible. But I had to fight, really, to live.
His friend who played the piano was hit by a car and died.
And I was just...
Paul was devastated and went to his family piano.
And I was like, that's a melody, but it's an unresolved melody. Like, I'm unresolved in his death. Why am I so deformed in my heart? I have all these problems. I have scars from trying to survive, and yet out of nowhere, my friend gets in an accident and dies. So I'm playing this, and it's like a question. And then I try to figure out, how do I answer that question? And that is what I hit. And that was so, like, uplifting. Almost like everything's okay, but then there's still that sadness. But I need resolve because I'm in pain. How's God gonna help me? So this becomes my first song that I ever wrote. And it's really, it's really, really simple. But I wrote it and I take it to his parents. I said, I wrote a song. I've never played the piano before, other than my lessons. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with it, but I feel like I just play it for you. And I played it, and we were all bawling, but then it was like, play it again. And I knew when they said play it again that it was not, thank you, I appreciate that. They generally had a moment.
It was at that moment that Paul knew his calling in life. He would eventually collapse on a tour bus in 2007 in Idaho Falls when he was with country stars Charlie Jenkins and Jason Aldean.
That led to, you're in bad condition. We need you to start talking about getting a transplant, seeing if you qualify for a transplant. But it was here in Idaho Falls. And so I just drove past the hospital, and I was like having all these memories of being there. And
he waited 385 days for a heart. His transplant was 10 years ago, September 9th, 2009, at 9 a.m.
When you go to master, I like the piano kind of ringing out a little longer. Mm-hmm.
His latest album is a recreation of the emotions he has experienced over the last 10 years, and while in the hospital. He wanted to take people back to why he started playing piano in the first place and help the listener.
Because my heart has been healed, I want to help heal your heart. And music is the best resource to create an atmosphere so that God or the universe, whatever you want to define it as, can heal you.
Incredible. The Paul Cardall Family Foundation funds scholarships for students affected by congenital heart disease. He also sat on the executive board for the Saving Tiny Hearts Society for 7 years. Recently, Paul was up for a Dove Award from the Gospel Music Association for Best Instrumental Album, his Christmas album. And he just informed me moments ago that he won tonight. The awards will be rebroadcast on the Trinity Broadcasting Network Sunday evening. And you can watch more of my interview with Paul at KIDK.com.